us, and they are both positives and negatives, depending on how you would actually use it. So as we delve deeper, I think we would have more points to discuss. Yeah, thanks, Enova.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anita, your take on
Just as my colleagues have said, social media is a good thing and it's a bad thing as well. So I'm really happy that we are all here, that we can delve into the positives and the negatives of what social media can do. It's a means of connecting people all around the world, and that's a positive, but it also has its downsides, and we're here to look at the double-edged sword of social media. Thanks.
all right. Yeah, thank you very much. So Sam, back to you. How does social media usage affect mental health, particularly in the context of relationships? As a counselor, what do you want to say? How does social media usage affect mental health when we come in the context of relationships?
All right, so thanks so much, Jones, again. Like I said earlier, the impacts of social media on our mental health can be both positive and negative. And so I would look at it from that angle, both the positives and the negative effects. In terms of the positive effects, we are a social being, and so we interact with human beings, we interact with people. And so social media actually has become a way for us to connect with people so that we're able to feel a sense of belongingness. Okay. We're able to connect, if it's about WhatsApp, it's about whatever, social, Facebook and all that. We always want to connect. And so our relationship with people, social media actually helps us to be able to actually connect so well with people. And so we don't feel isolated from others. And that is one key aspect of it in this positive regard. Again, with the help of social media, still we are social creatures or social beings. And so we are able to connect, build the social networks that we actually want. Social media help us to access social support groups, to access online therapy, possibly resources that we can even have for mental health. We are able to access all these things. We are able to share our experiences, moments on social media. If you are happy, if you are sad, if you are joyous, all these things are things we are able to share on social media. And they are a way that it helps to actually strengthen our relationships. So these are all things that helps us positively when it comes to social media. We are able to also communicate with social media. We are able to, it facilitates our communication and our coordination. So this is one of the ways we are doing now. If it is not for that of social media, I think we are over about 100 currently. The number that we are on, without social media, there was no way we would have been able to connect like this. But by means of social media, today we are here together as a team and we are engaging in this. So this is one other aspect of it for us. In terms of its negative effects, we can talk about relationship comparison. And many of us would compare our relationships based on what we see on social media. And as a result, it can actually fuel the feelings of jealousy, the feelings of possessiveness, insecurity, and dissatisfaction. Actually, these are platforms that showcase unreal experiences. And so when that happens, you look at what you see on social media and you compare to yours, and then you are likely to feel low self-esteem. You are likely to feel that you are incomplete and all that. Again, unrealistic expectations for us as we use social media, because definitely people portray or people put unrealistic relationships on their platforms. And so as we are engaged in this, it's actually makes us expect much from our partners, because what we have seen from others on social media is what we want our partners to do for us. And that really create so much, put so much pressure on our partners, so much pressure on ourselves, and it all affects our mental health issues. Again, we can talk about communication breakdown. That's the more we want to rely on social media, it will hinder our effective communication strategies. People are not really able to communicate so well, even on face-to-face level. You have couples partners who can't sit to talk to each other effectively face-to-face. 2 minutes, they are quarreling, but they may be able to communicate with others freely on social media. And so that's effective communication in terms of face-to-face aspect of it is actually lost. A lot of stress and anxiety because we want to seek validation on social media. We put our we post on our statuses, and we are looking for the likes, we are looking for the comments. And once they are not coming, we feel so anxious, and we think that, oh, what is happening? So it affects our self-esteem and all that. We want that instant gratification on our platforms, and that really affects our thinking. So that is one other aspect of it. One other thing that we can also talk about is infidelity and trust issues. You can imagine your partner having a conversation on social media with people, and probably a message that has been received, and then your partner shows some glimpse of joy on the face, and you don't know what actually is happening between what he's having a conversation about. You might likely feel have that trust concerns about your partner. So these are some issues. Decreased intimacy is also one thing that we have seen to actually happen. People are not able to have the quality time and intimacy that they would need in their relationships, because we are so glued to our gadgets. We are so glued to social media. We want to actually look at what is happening instead of having that face-to-face, that intimate relationship with people. We are so glued to our technological gadgets, which really affects us a lot. One last thing I want to talk about is social media. We are so glued to our screens, our notifications. Like I said, it's the first thing probably that you get encountered with in the morning, and then the last thing probably you get encountered with before you go to sleep. So we don't really have much sleep. There's so much sleep disturbances on us, and that affects our mental health. We are not able to sleep early because we are glued to our television, we are glued to our phones, trying to access social media and all that. So we are not able to sleep well. We wake up so early, and then we straight to our social media platforms and all that. So these are some other things, like I said, both positive and negatives, that the effects can be for us on our relationships when it comes to our mental health impacts. Thanks, Enova.
Yeah, thank you, Uncle Sam, for that elaborate explanation of the effect that social media could actually pose on relationships. And you've touched on both the positives and negatives. Louisa, let me find out from you. Can social media platforms be actually designed to promote healthy relationships, or are they just problematic?
Okay, Jones. Thank you very much for that question. From my perspective, I don't think social media platforms have been created with the intention of causing problems. They can actually help people in relationships. And when I say relationships, I'm not narrowing it to just the romantic relationships. I want to expand it to relationship with family, friends, and loved ones. So social media is not meant to be a problem. It's not problematically established, but they can help you to promote a healthy relationship. It helps you to actually stay in touch with people that you find joy with. It also helps you to express your the kind of affection that you have towards these people. So me, for instance, I am a fan of Snapchat, which is also a social media platform, because it helps me stay connected in real life time. So if I'm doing something in the moment, or I want to share something that is going on with me in the moment with people that I am connected with, or people that are my friends or loved ones, I'm able to do that in real time. And the line word is in real time. This is how social media can help you to promote like a quality expression of affection. So it's not problematically designed. It can actually help you to communicate with people that you love. It can also help you to share your interests. So if you're on an app like Instagram and you find something that is of interest to you, and you feel this might also be of interest to my partner or a friend or a family, a relative, you can share that interest with that person. And I don't see the problem with that. So that is what social media has also come to do for us. We are able to share our interests, and we are able to learn on social media as well. If you take YouTube, for instance, you can log on to YouTube. If you are someone that you like to do certain things with your partner, you both can log on to YouTube, watch a movie, take some lessons, and all these things are ways that you can promote healthy affection with your partners. So social media has not just been problematically designed, but it actually helps us to stay connected with people through communication, sharing affection, interest, bonding, and also being accountable to each other and being transparent on some levels. Yes, please. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Being accountable to each other and also connect us and keep us in real time. Yeah, thank you very much, Louisa, for that. Let me come to Madam Anita. You have been in the counseling field for a while. You've seen quite a number of cases as well as your business field. What do you think as some roles, or what roles does social comparison play in the mental health impact of social media and relations? Social comparison.
All right, so I'm going to start off and say comparison can have a good side and a bad side, all right? When you want to compare your life to someone, it's like you're benchmarking yourself to another individual. It can have its positive and it have its negative effects, okay? Sometimes it's really good to see that, okay, this person is doing so and so on social media. Probably I should take stock of my life and try and do something better for myself. But it's always important for it to be a healthy kind of comparison or competition, okay? However, when it becomes excessive, then it becomes negative and it becomes a bad thing. And not only in comparing your life to, or your life achievements to that of another individual on social media, we need to understand that social media content is created such that the person is putting their best foot out there. The person is putting their best content out there. What actually is happening in their homes is not actually what is being shown on social media. So we need to be very, very careful about that, because social media can create unrealistic expectations for us. It is created in such a way that people would always want to put out their best. No one is going to be fighting with their spouse or with their friend or with their child and come and post it on social media. Some people would do that, but at the end of the day, they are out there for a certain goal, and they are out there for a certain number of likes that they can get from that particular attraction or post they put on social media. So I would say that social media comparison does have some sort of negative effects as well. It might have a positive effect. And when you constantly compare your relationship to that of others, it can make you as an individual, make you feel insecure, and it can give you anxiety, as my colleague Sam said in the beginning. It can cause anxiety, which can give you a lot of mental health issues. And when you keep comparing what Ama and Coach Joe are doing in their home on social media, or what Ajwa is doing, it can cause you as an individual to like erode your self-esteem and make you feel inadequate or unworthy as an individual. It's really important that we need to cipher what we see on social media and detect that this particular content is good for me, this particular content is not good for me.
All right. Thank you very much. It's necessary we
and it's not always good to keep comparing your
Hello, Anita, we can hear you.
All right. I thought there was a bit of interruption in there.
Okay.
So when you're constantly comparing yourself to that of another individual or post or things that other people have put out there, it can create certain misleading issues in your relationship. Okay, so let's say you've seen Kojo put out there that he's bought a new car, and you've just started out with your new job, and then Kojo has also started out and he's bought a new car. As to how Kojo bought his new car, you have no idea, and you're sitting there comparing your life to that of Kojo, trying your best to want to do exactly as Kojo, and you're putting so much stress on yourself, and that kind of stress can hamper your mental health. It's really important that when we go on social media, we should know that it's not everything that we see out there that we need to take in. We can just see certain things and just let them go. And whilst we are on social media, we need to set certain boundaries. Social media, whatever you see on your feed, on your Instagram, on your social media, your Facebook, is what you actually, if you follow a certain kind of content, that is a kind of content that will keep coming onto your feed. So at the end of the day, it's not really helpful to keep comparing yourself or your relationships to that of others. It's going to have diverse effects on your relationships. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We should also decipher what we see on social media, and we should know that people put their best foot out there on the social media. So let us be careful with our comparison. Thank you very much, Madam Anita, for that insight. Let me come back to Uncle Sam. Earlier, you mentioned that social media connect us in your earlier submission. I want to find out, how does social media influence communication patterns and conflict resolution in romantic relationships?
Yeah, John. So I would again take it from both the positives and the negatives as well, just as I did for the first part. So social media impacts communication patterns and conflict resolution in romantic relationships in positive and negative ways. Taking communication patterns and their positive influences, we can have what we call increased connectivity. You are just easily able to connect to your partner for you to be able to communicate. For any of the social media platform that you would want to use, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, and all that, you can use them so instantly, so connect so as easily as possible, probably as compared to if you want a face-to-face interaction. So you can be at work and still be able to communicate with your partner. You can be apart and still be able to communicate with your partner through social media apps. You have that easy accessibility is there for you, easy communication across distances, like I have shared. I've said you are able to share your experiences, moments of joy, moments of sadness, and all that. And that helps you to actually bond well together. There are also social support networks that you can actually have access to based on social media. There are so many groups out there that you can communicate out there. The negatives of it, briefly, there is reduced face-to-face interaction. Once social media comes in, then you can be rest assured that the level at which you are going to communicate face-to-face is going to actually reduce. And face-to-face communication is very, very important, because you would need to be able to language, have eye contacts and all gestures to be able to, once that is not there, then there is a challenge. Partners may communicate through social media instead of direct conversation. You can have people stay in the same room, couples, partners stay in the same room together, but they will not have that use looking for and all that can be misrepresentation. I have had instances where probably you share, or somebody will share a message on a platform and people want to show an emoji. You can just realize that many of us do not understand the emojis. So people share issues that are of sad moments. Then someone will use a laughing emoji to it. Probably the person wants to use a crying emoji, and because they don't really understand it so well. So this becomes a misrepresentation, a miscommunication outright. Person at the other end will feel, whilst the person has shared the moment of sadness, moment of grief. You can imagine what you go through if you are that person. So there is that altered emotion. That is for communication. Briefly, talking about conflict resolution, I also take that one as well from the positive, and then conflict resolution. Media coming time for us. So you have an issue, a conflict, because you are away and you want to use social media. It is not like the face-to-face where instantly you can quarrels can come. Conflicts can come up. It's a calming space or a calming time for you to be able to even calm down, to be able to even reflect on what the issues are before you can quarrels are picked up. So you are able to actually reflect before you respond to messages that has also come to you. A message is sent to you, you might have to respond. If it is a face-to-face, once the person speaks, you would have to reply or respond. But once it is a social media communication, it's a message that will come, and you have that ample time to reflect on the message before you would respond to that conflicts. Again, there are online resources that can help you. If you're using social media, there are online resources that can help you to actually resolve your conflict. So these are some positive signs of it. The negatives of it in terms of conflict resolution is that once you are testing a message, then you can be rest assured that your message or your communication might stands a higher chance of being misunderstood. Some of us, we may write as we speak. And so the words that you may use and all that, someone reading it from the other end might not have that same understanding as you would probably have it if you were maybe speaking the words out. Once you leave a word out, a different meaning altogether in the first place. Again, there are conflicts are inevitable in relationships. Let me make it clear. We can't do away with conflicts in relationships. They are very, very it's a necessary evil. So they help us once they come in. Depending on how you will resolve it, it actually helps you to strengthen your relationship. So normally in my counseling sessions, especially for young couples, yet to be married couples, in my counseling sessions, one question that I normally pose to them is, have we ever quarreled? Have we ever fought? And once you pose that question, they are like, oh, we love ourselves so much that we don't fight and all that. my next response is please go and fight and come back. You have to go and fight, find a way to resolve the conflict, and then you come back and then you move on with the counseling sessions. So it is very key. But if you are able to resolve your conflict as couples, as partners, it actually strengthens your relationship. But because of social media, we would go all out to avoid conflicts, and it doesn't really help. Let them come find a way to actually resolve them. So these are some of the negatives as well that we want to come up. One other thing is that yes, the conflicts will come up because it is about a distance. Social media, it hinders very meaningful resolutions because sometimes you may need to sit and talk and understand yourself very well. But once it is social media communication, like I said, it all boils down to how you're able to understand your communications very well. So once communication is lacking, once you are not able to understand yourselves very well, then that's definitely would hinder meaningful conflict resolutions. There are certain things that it is very difficult to resolve on phone, on social media, or whatever. But if it is a face-to-face, you are easily able to thrash things out. So basically, these are some few things or some few impacts or influences of social media on our communication and our conflict resolution, especially in romantic relationships. Thank you, Nova.
Yes, thank you. On a lighter one, so what happens to your to-be couple who will go and come back and tell you they haven't quarreled?
So I tell them to actually look for a fight.
All right, thank you very much. Yes,
It's not a fight of like blows and stuff, but there should be a misunderstanding for you to be able to have a conflict resolution plan. That is very key for us. Yeah. Thanks, Nova.
You're right. Yeah, thank you very much. Madam Anita, mostly we do hear that at times out as a result of social media, people feel lonely, people feel isolated because of the things they see, trying to compare and all those stuffs, making them feel depressed and the likes. I want to find out from you, do social media platform actually alleviate feelings of loneliness, isolations, relationships, and all those stuff that we've been hearing? Or can you tell me some of the dynamics that comes with it?
All right. So Jones, thank you. So social media and let's say its impact on loneliness and all that, it's a bit complex, but we need to understand that social media platforms, they were created as a means of communication to bridge the geographical gaps, okay, in fostering communications and a sense of belonging. Those are the main focus of social media networks or platforms. They provide online communities, support. You can get counseling online. You can get business advice online. All right. But it will become a lonely place for you when you start to compare and start to probably envy what somebody else is putting out there. And that's when you feel dissatisfied as an individual. And then that's when the loneliness would probably set in. And loneliness, depression, and all that, you understand? So I would say that that is not the intention of the platforms. However, we as individuals, our use of social media and how we view it would probably put us in that isolated or lonely feeling or bracket. Most of the times, sometimes some families, even at the dinner table, everybody is on their phone. And from sitting at the dinner table, everybody's on their phone. They go back into their rooms, and everybody's still on their phone. And what exactly is happening to each individual in the family? Most people would even know. Even parents sometimes don't even know that their child is going through certain things because of things that they see on social media. Because social media has created unrealistic goals and relationships for everybody. Everybody wants to benchmark somebody. They see somebody put out this, oh, that's the best thing. Everybody wants to benchmark. And that's when you do that, when you compare, when you envy, that is when you start to feel lonely and isolated, okay? And sometimes too, cyberbullying and online harassment can also cause individuals to feel lonely. And sometimes the kind of comments that you see people write under people's posts, it's so disheartening. And we all know that cyberbullying is one of the leading factors for suicide. So it's more about how we, as individuals, we take social media. And it's really important that we should find a balance in there, okay? We have to find a balance with our online interactions as well as our offline interactions. And we should be able to set realistic expectation and just understand that social media content is created. Okay, people actually sit down now everything that's on social media, majority of things on social, people actually sit down, create that content that they want to put out there for people to see. And we should all understand that not everything that you see on social media is real. And then we should try and learn how to engage in meaningful online interactions. It's not all the time that you go and you see you go online and you see somebody doing this and you're following what the person is doing. We need to also join online supportive communities. We should prioritize face-to-face connections over online connections. We all need to have our limits when it comes to social media. As even in relationships, you should know that, okay, there's no gadgets in the bedroom, or there's no gadgets at the dining table as a family. So we can have interpersonal relationships, discuss what happened during your day, than everybody always on their phone, typing and then checking what's happening on social media. We can also decide that as a family, maybe on weekends, we are going to limit our social media so we can actually have some time as a family to spend together. So the impact of social media on loneliness and isolation and relationships depends on how we utilize these platforms ourselves. And we should be able to acknowledge that there's both benefits and there are setbacks in adopting both social media strategies. So it all boils down to the individuals and how we are able to handle what we see on social media. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. This particular issue of isolation, you know, sometimes partners will meet, probably even go out, and you see everyone on their phones. Even it could be a dinner, and everybody's on his phone, and the real-time communication is even missing. What would you want to say a little about that?
Yes, so it's really important, like I said before, because I don't see the essence of you going out with your family or going out with your spouse and still being on your phone. At that point in time, we need to understand that put your phone aside and interact with the person sitting across from you. What are we looking for on our phones all the time? Okay, I know some people, some men would say, or some women would say, okay, it's I'm on my phone for business, I'm on my phone for this, I'm on my phone. But it's really, really important that we need to make time for each and everybody in our life. Okay, you can be sitting across from somebody is going through a really, really dark space in their life, but you wouldn't even know because you're on your phone 24/7. I know I've seen several relationships that even marriages that ended up in divorce because of social media and what one of the spouses was putting out on social media, and maybe the other spouse did not like such content or didn't like that, and it led into divorce. So we need to be really, really careful and make time for each other.
All right, thank you very much. Louisa, can social media foster unhealthy attachment styles? Talking about attachment styles here. Sorry, let me mute this person. Yes, sir. Okay, I think you can continue now. Yes, sorry, Louisa, I was with you. Can social media foster unhealthy attachment styles or reinforce positive ones?
Okay, Jones. Thank you very much. I think I would start off from where Anita left, and social media has been created for people to put out content that I should say they are comfortable with. No one comes on social media, or let me say, majority of the people who come on social media put what they feel is okay. I want the public to know about this. That is what they'll put on social media. Very little people would put things they're not comfortable with on social media. And even with that, the issue of content creation has come up, where probably that is their line of work. So they put out their lives, even if they're not happy about it. That is what they do for a living. But majority of the time, people put out content or things that they are comfortable with. And with the issue of attachment styles, I would want to focus on maybe 2 or 3 attachment styles and see how social media can foster it or cannot. So let's look at the attachment styles such as a secure attachment. So someone who has a secure attachment style would most likely come on social media and say, I'm confident, I'm comfortable. So they put like every little bit of their lives on social media. They feel secured in whatever they are doing. And the social media has also created a space where they or people in a secure attachment can stay connected, and they can also express their levels of affection and also share their experiences to the world in a healthy way. Let me let you guys know that people with this attachment style, most often when they experience issue of trolling or people are insulting them, you don't have to put this on social media, you don't have to do this. These are the people that will be like, I don't care, because they are secure in whichever attachment, whichever thing they are putting out on social media. So this is a way that social media can actually reinforce this attachment style that, okay, I am secure, I am okay to put the things that I'm putting out there. So I'm okay. If anyone comes at me, I can deal with it. And we have people that are avoidant, or they have the avoidant attachment style. These are people that we see on social media that they are private. We know public figures that put very little details of themselves out there. You can search and search, look on Instagram, look on LinkedIn, look on every social media platform, Facebook, and you would literally find nothing about them. These are people that we can say they are avoidant in a way, and it's being exhibited in how they use social media platforms. So they would rather shy away or avoid putting things on social media. Please, that's also one aspect or one attachment, or how social media can actually reinforce an attachment style. Then we have people who have preoccupied attachment style. So these people are mostly anxious, and we will take social media as a fuel when it comes to these people. They'll be on their phone. They're already anxious with the kind of attachment that they have when it comes to social media. So these are the people that if you're in a relationship with them, when you don't reply their messages, they're constantly checking their phone. When they post on a picture on any social media platform, they are worried about the likes that they will get. When they post a picture, they go and check it 17 times to see if everything is looking okay. They're actually anxious, but social media has just created a space where they also have to be there. And this is how social media can also fuel the attachment style. It will make you extra anxious. You go and you check, I haven't had the number of likes that I want, and it's affecting your mental health. Oh, what didn't I do right? Was the content not good enough? Why are people not engaging on my social media feed? So all these things, or these are some of the ways that social media can actually be a fuel to impact or deter people from the kind of attachment style that they exhibit on social media platforms. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much. But let me stay with you one more time. And talking about self-esteem and then identity. What do you think, or how does social media created content impact self-esteem and issues of body image in relationships and all that? What do you want to say about that?
Okay. With the issue of body image, I don't know if anyone has watched this. It's a very popular, funny video on social media platforms where the female shows the guy, please watch this video. And the guy watches the video, and later she will ask, what's the Jesse number? And the guy is not able to mention the Jesse number. So this is to bring us to the point that people have created Are we okay?
Yes, please. Let's go on. Sorry about that.
Okay. People have created a certain kind of image or influencers, people on social media that are having the likes and the follows. If you look through the females, they have a certain kind of body that they portray. And people who are following them will be like, I need to get this body. You don't know how they had that body. And this is what social media does to us. They have put certain kind of bodies up there that if you don't have this body, then you are not beautiful. Sweetheart, you are beautiful the way you are. Whichever body type that you have, just be happy with your body. Social media, as Anita has already said, people will put things that they like over there. So if you are looking at the image of people and it's affecting your self-esteem, people go on social media and they are literally doing exercises to look like a certain figure, to look like a certain personality on social media, and comparing yourself in this aspect can affect your mental health and it will reduce your self-esteem. Because you're not looking like the figure that is on social media, you are not able to confidently walk in your body. Some will buy hip pads, some will buy push-ups just to look a certain kind of way, and this will affect your mental health. So yes, if I got your question right, social media does affect our self-esteem when it comes to the kind of body image that people portray. And in relationships, guys, let me be biased over here. Guys will want their ladies to look a certain kind of way because that is what is accepted, quote unquote accepted. I don't know why we have this idea. If you are with someone in a relationship, you are in there because you like something about the person. Don't push the person into getting a kind of body image or a social media figure that you think is ideal where the person does not have it. Appreciate what you have and let it be what you have and live freely in that body. Don't let what someone has put on social media be the ideal body. What you have is what you have, and have confidence in it. Have high self-esteem. I'm not saying you should go on social media and show everybody that, oh, I have this kind of body, but live comfortably with what you have. Thank you.
Let us live comfortably with what we have so that we do not feel so down that our body types are not the right to be in a relationship, or comparing our bodies to other people's and say that my partner isn't having this body type, so he or she is not the best. All right, Anita, do social media platforms perpetuate unrealistic relationship expectations or promote healthy relationship goals?
Okay, so you're asking if social media perpetuates unrealistic relationship expectations, isn't it?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Or you said, or promotes healthy relationship goals.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's start with the perpetrating of unrealistic expectations. Yes. You know, like I said before, social media, you would go there and today somebody has done this, somebody has done that. And the truth of the matter is half of the things out there are not even true. All right. And then when we talk about social media, it's not only all about our Facebooks and our, how do you call it? Instagrams and all that. There are other platforms that are out there. And when it comes to relationships, on social media, trust me, you think your partner is the worst off because you see Ama's husband or Ama's partner treating Ama in a certain way that is showing that he's so much in love with Ama. He's on his knees asking Ama to marry her and all that. And like that overemphasis on romance tends to let us feel like our partners are not doing the most. Whilst we always forget that that is content that somebody is putting out there. And that's when we start to compare and the envy comes inside and the dissatisfaction comes inside and we start to feel inadequate of ourselves. And that's where we get all anxious and then we start to get depressed. There's a lot of unhealthy beauty standards like Louisa mentioned. Okay, there are some influencers out there. You see them and you think that this is how I'm supposed to be, and then because you don't have that kind of body shape, you're going into the gym, over exercising, overworking yourself, starving yourself till you get an ulcer, just to have that kind of body type, or have people to see you in that particular light. So yes, I would say that social media does perpetuate certain unrealistic expectations. All right. However, it can promote healthy relationship goals. Okay, depending on how you represent yourself or what you showcase. So social media can showcase diversity. You can see on social media how maybe somebody in the Americas, or somebody in Europe, or somebody in other aspect of, or place in Africa is actually treating their children, or how the person is reading to their children. I remember I saw a post on social media about a woman and how she reads her books to her children when they are going to bed, and how she was treating them, tucking them into bed. And then that's something positive, that's something positive that I was able to pick up and start doing with my daughter. So at the end of the day, it's the most important thing is that in a relationship, or in your family, or whatever relationship it is, whether it's romantic or whatever, it's really important that we communicate. Okay, we always communicate, because when you see something on social media, you don't communicate it well to your partner, it can build up conflicts and all that. Social media enables connections with others facing similar relationship challenges. You can go on certain social media platforms and realize that what you're actually going through in your relationship with your child. There's this Instagram group that is for women who have boy children, and it talks about the challenges that they are going through raising these children, and that is a positive representation of social media. And when you go on there, you have a lot of mothers on there who are experiencing something that you're also experiencing raising your child, and you could be able to relate and then get information from these people and learn from individuals. So I would say that it's really, really important for us to always take the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows of what social media does give to us. Okay, and we can do that by following accounts that are tailored to what we want to see. When you continue, if you're a Christian and you continue following Christian content, that is what is going to come up for you. If you're a counselor and you follow therapy related or counseling related content, that is going to show up on your timeline. And it's important as we, as the social media users, we also should try and show or share authentic and the imperfect aspects of our relationship or our lives, so that other individuals can also know that it's not all rosy out there. Okay, and we should use social media to facilitate meaningful connections. Okay, so that it can help boost our self-esteem, and always to prioritize our offline interactions. Offline interactions are very, very important, and we should have time to have self-reflection. We should have time to reflect and recognize that at the end of the day, social media content is set out there to portray a certain light of the person who is posting that content out there. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Please, a quick one before you sip your water. How do social media boundaries affect relationship satisfaction? People try to set some boundaries with their social media and then their relationships. So just a quick one. How do social media boundaries affect relationship satisfaction and trust, issues of trust?
Sorry, I had unmuted. So you're asking how social media boundaries impact relationship satisfaction and trust.
Yes.
Okay, so social media can have a positive impact on relationship satisfaction. Okay, it can, depending on how you utilize it, it can increase quality time together. That is, if you decide that today we are setting boundaries. Like I said, today we're not using social media, we are all off our phones. And when we spend time together as family, it increases quality time together and it improves our communication. And for romantic relationships, it can enhance intimacy, all right, and decrease all those side distractions that we get from seeing all those things that we see on social media. it can also reduce jealousy and insecurity. So let's say if your partner allows you to see exactly what they are looking at on social media, it can help the other party to know that, okay, there's no need for me to be insecure on what my partner is probably doing on social media, because he actually allows me to see the content that he's actually looking at, okay? And the positive impact on trust, because it will obviously reduce online infidelity, it increases transparency, all right? And it will decrease that form of suspicion that we have, and it provides honesty and stronger commitments in our relationships, all right? But the negative impact, if boundaries are not set, will be that it would obviously increase the jealousy and insecurity. It would breed distrust and let the individual have a feeling of neglect and be ignored. And that's where the isolation and loneliness would come in. So it's really important that we have boundaries when it comes to our social media. We all need to set times when we want to use our social media, times that we are offline and times that we are online. And then even if it happens that you are online and your partner needs your attention, or your daughter needs your attention, or whoever it is needs your attention, you should go off social media immediately and make that time for the individual. Thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you very much. That's very insightful. Let me come to Anchor Sam. What will you advise on this particular issue of media free zones? Should couples establish social media free zones in their relationship?
Okay, so Jones, thank you. I think it's very, very important for couples to have that as part of their life. Actually, most of us have an online life more than offline life. So for all that we have discussed, it's very, very prudent. It's very, very important that couples are able to have that media-free zones or media-free times for themselves. And actually, it will enhance quality time because couples are able to focus on themselves and not on the screens, not on other gadgets, not on other materials or items. And that helps to foster deeper connections, deeper communication, deeper relationships. And then the bond is strengthened. So that is very key. It also reduces the distractions that social media actually has brought on us. Increased intimacy becomes something that the couples or the families or the partners can actually have. Once you prioritize emotional connection over online presence, then definitely you are going to have that increased intimacy. Also, you are able to set the boundaries. You are able to define your shared online and offline spaces, that is as partners. And so that helps you as well to reduce the comparison. I mean, people have created virtually everything on social media. What you actually see online is not the same thing offline. You see people, someone can just stand by somebody's a vehicle and just have a picture and then post it on his or her status. And you would think that that is what the person owns. And you can see this, and then you become so anxious. You see this, and you become so jealous, insecure about your personal life. You have low self-esteem and all that. But that is what we have to understand, that it is not everything that we see on social media. Actually, a majority of it, a greater percentage of it, is not the same as it is in real life situations. So that actually is needed for couples, and it can enhance the trust between couples. Let me say that some of the free social media zones that couples can actually look at is, one key is the bedroom. So as couples, you can decide that in the bedroom, no phone, no television, or whatever should be there. It is the bedroom and it's only the bed that we need there. That's something that couples can agree on and look at. I think Anita or Louisa mentioned at the dining table, we are at the table to eat, but people have their heads so rooted onto their phones. and we are not able to have that face-to-face interactions, we are at the table and we need to have that in-person connection, but it is not there. We are at the table and we all of us are on our phones and all that. So the dining table is also one area that we can have a social media free zone. We can have it as a social media free zone. Nobody takes the phone to the dining table. Maybe in the living room, once we are there and we are there as a family and we want to have that shared activities, then maybe we have social media banned there. During vacations, it's something we can look at. We want to go on vacations and have free time for ourselves, have that intimate connections and all that. So those are other areas that we can also have social media free zones. The times are also, like I said, so at the dining table, that is during meals. Once it is time for us to eat, then all phones should be put away. Once we are going to bed, then all phones should be away, all gadgets should be away from us. Once we have sat to have a conversation, to communicate, then everybody should put his or her social media gadgets away. When we are having very important shared activities, like we are having our hobbies, exercises, and all that, all these should be off. So you can also have, I think Louisa said it or anytime, the weekends can be another days for us. Oh, let's have limited tech-free, let's have tech-free time, limited social media time, maybe designated days, hours within the day. Maybe we can set a period of time that at these periods, it is a tech-free time, it's a social media free time, it's a social media free zone for us, so we don't go with our social media apps and all that. So these are these are things that we can do, and they are very helpful to us. They were very helpful to us. We are able to have more intimate connections. We are able to have more quality time. We are able to actually increase the trust between us, and as such, we are reducing the distractions. We are setting better boundaries, and we are reducing the comparisons that we actually have on social media. So it is very, very important that couples, partners, or as individuals, we look at this, that we are able to set social media free time, social media free zones for ourselves. And it's in the end, it will inure to our benefit mental wise. Thank you, Noah.
You're right. Thank you very much. So let us try to create that space where if we want to experience each other as partners, we should experience it in full and put social media aside. We shouldn't get our heads glued whilst we are at the dining table or whilst we're having nice time outside. It is affecting relationships. Let me come to Louisa. Just recently, I was having a conversation with someone, and this person said the wife connected his WhatsApp to another device and was monitoring whatever chats he gets on his phone without his knowledge. He actually doesn't know about that there's something you can connect a device. So the partner has always been stalking and been monitoring every movement of this man. And unfortunately, things didn't go very well with their relationship. So I want to find out from you, what are the implications of online surveillance or stalking on mental health in relationships? Stalking, what are some of the implications you can talk about, Louisa?
Okay, thank you very much, Jones. So with the issue of stalking, it's like there's only one party that suffers, the person who is stalking. The one you are stalking doesn't really suffer anything. You, the stalker, you end up suffering. So some of the mental health implications that can come out of stalking, we have the issue of increased anxiety. So when you are someone that keeps checking up on your partner, or let's even say an ex-partner, you would go on their social media platforms to know what they are doing, to see if they have said something about you. And in some instances, you can even watch their social media feed. It has nothing to do with you, but you would connect yourself to whatever they are saying or whatever they have posted in a way. And that can create increase levels of anxiety and can make you paranoid as well. You are always on the lookout for what the person is talking about. And with connecting a device to your partner's social media platforms, which they mostly do on WhatsApp to see their messages, you are just harming yourself. You are making yourself sad. What if you see what you're not supposed to see? The person who sends the message is not affected. The person receiving the message is not affected. You that you were not supposed to be anywhere close to that message, you become anxious, you become angry, you become upset. And this can be an implication of your stalking behavior. We can also look at the issue of trust. So people who usually stalk are suspicious, or they have some levels of mistrust when it comes to their relationship or the person they are dealing with. So constantly checking up on the person, wanting to know what the person is up to, wanting to find evidence. Sometimes people stalk because they want to find evidence, and this is the implication is because they don't trust, or is the stalking is generated from a place where they have mistrust, or they are suspicious of some actions that their partners are exhibiting, or some actions that their partners have done in the past or they are currently doing. We can also look at some negative aspects of stalking someone. Obsessive thinking. People are naturally overthinkers, and they find themselves stalking people. When you continuously think about the things that you find out that you're not supposed to find out, it can also lead to depression. It can also lead to mood disturbances. You become irritable for reading a message that you were not supposed to have read. You become irritable because someone is stalking, or someone has commented on your partner's post and you don't like the comment the person puts there because you're stalking the person. Okay, so it can also increase your levels of thinking, or it makes you an obsessive thinker, and in the long run can put you at high risk of depression and other mood-related disorders. So we can just say that it's not a healthy thing to stalk. As if you feel suspicious of something, if you have some levels of mistrust, communicate with your partner. Let your partner know that, okay, I see this thing, I don't like it, or I feel this type of way. Let the person explain to you what actually is going on, than to hop onto the person's social media platform, than to connect the person's device to other devices to keep track of whatever they are doing. It impacts your mental health in a very negative way. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. But you agree with me? They said when the two comes together, they become one. So which means that they can share everything about themselves. So the question is, why should you be scared that I'll see what it's on your device? But I think, as you said it, you've explained it. You go and see something that you are not supposed to see, and which will affect you. Probably even the context or the actual meaning of what was sent, probably that is
Yeah.
we put to it, may be far from it, but because of either the mistrust, the suspicions, and all those stuff that come with it, you end up putting yourself into a depressed mood. I think let's all just help ourselves to see how best we can manage situations like this. Uncle Sam, let me come to you. But sorry, please, we are about very soon. We'll be wrapping up. If you have any question, any contributions, you can put it in the chat box. As we are done with when we are done with the questions, we will read them out. We also have about 5 minutes for people who want to interact directly to also do so. I want to also announce that Anita has taken a leave of us. She will actually have to catch up a flight right now, so she's at the airport, and then but even though she's listening, but she can't contribute at the moment. However, we'll finish up in due time. Yeah, so Uncle Sam, what strategies can individuals use to maintain healthy social media habits in relationships?
So I would say that basically we would have to balance our online and offline life. It is very, very key that we are able to do that. And to be able to do that, we will have to be able to set clear boundaries, establish personal social media limits, just like we have talked about the free times and then the free zones, you need to actually set them as a person, as an individual, and then probably as partners or as couples. It is very, very important as a family. We are also able to actually do that. Then we are able to prioritize our real life interactions. Let us focus more on in-person, one-on-one communication connections as compared to online life. Then let us have people who we can be accountable to, that we can set people who would probably, if it is your partner, these are things that we can do. It may be linked to what we call stalking, but that is not it. You can have your partner as somebody that you are accountable to, that the person can monitor you and get to realize that maybe you are actually going beyond limits, and so we need to. So we have set the free times, the free zones, and all that. People who are able to be accountable to are able to actually keep us on track. That yes, this is the time that you have set for yourself as your free time for social media. But maybe you've forgotten at that time you are still on social media. The person can prompt you, and that becomes the check and balance for you. So that is something we can actually do. Then we need to practice self-care. We need to take breaks. We need to engage in so much of offline activities. It's very, very, very important we do that. Then we seek support as well if they need be that we need to seek professional help, discuss social media concerns with our partners, what is going on our platform that we are on. We can discuss that with our partners. I know some couples who are on the same social media platforms, and these are all checks and balances for us. And as a result of that, they are not able to, you are very cautious about what you are putting on that platform because you know that your partner is there. And all these are things that we can actually do to actually help us. We should look at our communication expectations and discuss the boundaries as partners, having shared guidelines for us to be able to use. The rules are there for us. We have all agreed to it as to how we are using social media. That is very, very important for us to do. So basically, these are things that we can do. But the most important thing is that you need to balance your online and offline life. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Just a follow-up to that. There are this situation which I witnessed where before marriage, one partner is on the social media group, a WhatsApp platform where they share jokes and everything, and found someone in the group and they got married eventually. But I realized that after the marriage, there have been all sorts of issues going on. So my question is it also good that couple be in same social groups? Is it good where some of these jokes and things come and people referring to them as they were before marriage? Is there anything that can be said about this, or it's okay for partners to be in the same group and do whatever they like?
Okay, so it depends on the couple. It depends on the set goals and objectives for which you are in that group. There are, like, just with the example that you have given, they were all there together in that group, and that is where they found themselves and they got married. They joined that group with a purpose. So after marriage, has that purpose been achieved? I'm not very sure that they went there because they wanted to get connected to get married. It might have been for a different purpose. So it is all about you being able to sit down to set your rules and your guidelines regarding you being together on that particular platform. Because I know a lot of couples that are on the same platform that is for personal self-development. And like I said, it also serves as a check and balance for you, because you know that your partner is there. And so you will not be able to quote unquote misbehave on that platform. You are very careful about what you are posting on that platform and all that. On the other hand, you may be limited, you may be hindered from expressing yourself on that platform for which if your partner was not there, you would have been able to do it easily because you are more careful. And once you are more careful, you would end up probably not even sharing your insights and your experiences even on that platform for others to benefit and for you to also benefit as well. So it depends on the couple, it depends on the platform for which you are on, the goals for which you are joining that platform. But I believe that if as partners, as couples, we're able to sit down and actually join and agree on all the rules and all that, I think that you cannot be on the same platform without any issues or any challenges. Thanks, Enova.
Yeah, all right. Let me ask my last question before I come to Louisa. How can couple or friends set realistic expectations and boundaries for social media usage? How can they set realistic expectations for themselves and boundaries for social media usage?
Okay, so couples can it's all about effective communication as well as we were actually talking about. So as couples, you would have to discuss and agree on the boundaries that you want to set for yourself. So sit down and discuss. We have spoken about the social media free zones. So as couples, you may agree on maybe in the bedroom we don't take phones, you don't take our social media apps there. So that becomes a free zone for you. You can agree on that. It's all about agreement that you are sitting down to discuss and agree on the boundaries. That is very, very key. Then the times, limits, and all that, maybe during dates, during dinner time, during all those times, you can sit down to actually set them. Then you can also define online behavior expectations as partners, as couples. So sit down and define that maybe, yes, as you are on online, these are the possible listen that we are supposed to, we may be facing. But then be sure that there is no flirting, there is no sharing of intimate content, maybe about our family, about ourselves on online platforms. These are things that as couples we can actually discuss and agree on. Then one other thing is about sharing of passwords. It's a personal thing. Yes, you were asking that when we marry, we are one. It's true that when we are married, we are one. But one thing also we also have to understand is that we are one, but we are individuals. So that is why when your phone is there and your partner wants to take it, he or she asks, "Can I take your phone?" Because that is your phone. I have a shirt I wear. That is my shirt. It is not my wife's shirt, even though we are one in marriage. She has a dress, that is her dress, and it is not my dress, even though we are one in marriage. So we need to be able to actually differentiate our identity, our individuality, and then our life as one, as the Bible probably talks about it. So we need to be able to actually differentiate our interdependentness and then our dependentness as well. And it's very key. Couples who are not able to actually delineate this or have able to actually differentiate our dependence and our interdependence always have challenges in the marriage. We are one, but we are individuals, and that we need to be able to understand it clearly. So as to me, letting you know my password should be something that we sit down to discuss. You may not be able to force me to share my password with you because, yes, you're my wife, you're my husband, but maybe the kind of work that I do, there might be some sensitive information that I will not be able to let you know as a counselor, as a medical doctor, as a lawyer, or whatever. These are things that we can look at. But if there is transparency, if there is trust, then there wouldn't be any issue about phones and their password and all that. Personally, I don't have a password on my phone. So my phone is there, my wife can take and do whatever that she wants to do with it. But she trusts me, so she will not even want to take my phone and do anything with it. I trust her, so I will not even want to go and take a phone and say I'm going to go through it and see what communication she has had on WhatsApp and other social media platforms, because the trust is there. So that is very, very key, that couples are able to actually do that. And like I said, we can monitor and adjust our boundaries. We can monitor ourselves, we can set ourselves as accountable to our partners, so they can tell us if we are going overboard, if we are deviating from the norms, if we are deviating from the boundaries that we have set for ourselves, the rules and all that. And then we are back on track. And these are very helpful for us. So these are a few tips that I can talk about. Thanks, Nova.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's very elaborate. Louisa, are there any existing resources or interventions that effectively address social media related mental health issues, especially in relationship?
Okay, James, thank you. I think with the interventions available, Mr. Samuel has mentioned some of them in his earlier submission, but I would want to talk on the issue of mindfulness, being very mindful of the things you consume on social media. So that is one way that you can manage your mental health when it comes to social media. So being mindful of the kind of content you consume. So social media has been designed in a way that if you follow a specific type of content, if I follow Christian content will keep coming on my feed. So you should be mindful of the kind of things that you follow on social media. So a mindful practice is one of the interventions that can effectively address social media related mental health problems when it comes to relationship, and also with the issue of open communication and transparency. As earlier said, your partner can serve as a check on you, but that's not to say you are stalking the person, but just to make sure you're on track, you are sharing what you're supposed to share on social media, you are not overdoing and you are not underdoing. So you can create a regular check-in for yourself and have open communications with your partner. If you post something that is being misunderstood by the general public, you should know that there are people that are close to you, and you should care to explain to them that this is what I intend to put out there, and for one reason or the other, maybe people misunderstood it. So have open communications about things on social media and be transparent. That can also be one way that you can foster or address mental health issues when it comes to relationship. And also setting a healthy social media boundary can also be a way. So you know that you are limited to certain things that you consume. So limit yourself. I don't go beyond this number of hours. When it's time to be with my partner, I am there. I am not on my phone. I am given the full attention that I'm supposed to give. And Mr. Samuel spoke about the issue of social media free zones. You should create an environment where you know that when we go into the bedroom, phones don't come there. We don't have a TV in our bedroom. So it's sets boundaries. Don't make social media your whole relationship about social media. Every time you're on your phone, every time you are trying to check up on someone or respond to a message, even if it's business, set boundaries. If it's time to do business, you do business. If it's time to be with your partner, you also be with your partner. So that's also one way that we can effectively address social media issues when it comes to its impact on mental health. Thank you.
Yes, all right. Thank you very much. And I think just to add some few points to, at times some personality traits also make people prone to this stalking, mistrust, and issues that happens in relationships with regards to trying to, let's take for example, people who are paranoid, which is a personality, or that people with the narcissist personality types, tendencies. So I think at times it will also be good if we could seek for professional help if you realize that this thing is becoming something that's it's consistent, where you can't just stay away, or you're always on the lookout for issues. So at times it could be issues of personality traits that are happening. And also cognitive biases are also there, where people try to, based on some biases that they are having about their partner, because what they want to to hear or what they want to see will make them to find themselves in some of these zones that will put them in situations that are uncomfortable. So I think some of these things, to these cognitive biases, let us also self-reflect and see whether what is making us to have problem with our partners when it comes to social media usage is not based on any cognitive bias that is affecting us. And then also, we should also look at how we say our type, our socialization, the type of friends, the type of people we also move with, who are the people that advise us, what are the people we work with. At times, some of these things could also be of help to help us to navigate some of these issues. And then what I would like to say as a concluding issue is that let's also be mindful of misinformation and then disinformation, especially at this time where the political issues and all these things are going. I think to be on the safer side, let's be mindful of misinformation, because sometimes we consume misinformation and it goes a long way to affect our relationships. So when you're on social media, whatever information you see or you receive, the pop-up that you see, let us try to check, let us fact check to see if it is true or not. At times you maybe receive a message probably about your partner and it turns out to be a misinformation. You quickly react to that and you may end up putting a relationship into jeopardy. So my take is that let us all be mindful of the information we receive. When you hear something, let us try to fact check before we do or react to whatever way we want to react. Thank you, Louisa. Thank you, Uncle Sam. Thank you, Anita, who is not here with us at the moment. Yes, there are some few comments that I have. Please, if you have a question, you can raise your hand with just 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes, we are off from this place. Nadia says, please, is it easy to assess a client's mood clearly on a Zoom session? I guess that from the counselor's point of view, probably the teletherapy. Uncle Sam, please, is it easy to assess a client's mood clearly on a Zoom session?
Wow. So it's not easy, and so that is why it is not so much prudent to do counseling online, except you are trained for that. You are specializedly trained in that area. Otherwise, if you have not, it's not advisable that you do counseling on phone, online, or stuff. You may want to look at maybe video counseling. Maybe if it's a WhatsApp, you can have a video call where you can, but with that still there are limitations. So face-to-face is the best. If you have not been trained, if you have not specialized in cyber counseling or online counseling. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Randy Taylor has an interesting one here. Is that social media has made it very, very easy for people to cheat in relationships. Well,
very easy actually.
That is Randy's view. Excel Emil Docas, she's asking, how do one heal from anxiety or depression one suffered after stalking a partner and seeing what he or she is not supposed to see? So how do one heal from the anxiety that comes with stalking or the depression that comes with stalking? What responses would you have? Louisa, Uncle Sam, how do you?
Okay. I'll take it first, and I think Uncle Sam, you please add on. So when you experience some kind of anxiety or depression from stalking, one way that you can deal with it, or one way that you can heal properly, is to talk about whatever you found out through your stalking process with the person you were stalking. So probably you are stalking a partner, you find out something, you can say, hello, or something, I found this, and it's bothering me, it's hurting me, it's having an impact on me. Can we talk about it? First off, you should be prepared that the person is going to be angry or upset with you for stalking him or her, but you should brace yourself for that. Then you can talk about it openly and freely if the person is willing to talk about it. You can also seek professional help to deal with the issues of anxiety and then depression. So these are two ways that you can go about it. Talk about it openly with the person you were stalking and seek professional help to deal with the issues of anxiety and then depression. Uncle Sam?
Yes, so I think you've said it, so I'll just add that stop stalking, stop it, and then just seek professional, because anxiety, depression are more of clinical issues. So seek professional counseling or professional therapy. Yeah, thanks, Inova.
All right. I think that's all we have in the chat box. Wisdom want to find out if recordings will be available. Yes, it will be shared when we are recording, so it will be shared at the appropriate time. Ayamba Idrisu, you have your hand up. Please, if you have any question, kindly unmute and ask. Ayamba Idrisu, Abubakar. Okay, please, do anyone have any reaction, any question, any suggestions to our panelists? If you have, please raise your hand. I will call you and you will speak. Or you can still put it in the chat box. Okay, currently I don't have any new hands and I don't have any new question or comments in the chat box as well. So I want, sorry. I want to give the opportunity to the immediate past president, Ghana Psychological Association, Dr. Collins Agyemang-Badu, who is now the current president for Pan-African Psychology Association. Doctor, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Jones, and thank you all panelists for adequately addressing this particular subject matter. Before maybe I give a brief concluding thought, I had a question for especially the panelists, and I think Louisa did mention no phones to the bedroom. What if my bedroom and my hall and everything is just a single room? What do I do? So that is just my question, and if it could be addressed, and then I can share my concluding thought.
Okay, Louisa.
Okay. Dr. ABC, what I would say about this is if your bedroom and your hall is a single room, you can have your phone far away from you. So there are different dimensions of the room. Wherever your bed is, your phone should be far from there. Or you can put your phone on do not disturb. You can put your phone on silence. You can even turn it off. Anything that will not distract you, you can do that if you have just one space. Thank you.
Exactly, off from the bed. That is it. Away from the
Thank
bed.
you. Thank you all very much. So let me use the opportunity at this juncture to thank all the panelists, Miss Louisa, Mr. Samuel J, and then also my dear sister Anita Maureen, and our moderator, Mr. Jones Tagbo, for coordinating this beautiful engagement session. The opportunity to learn is always a beautiful moment. I don't take some of these programs lightly at all. I learn a lot, and I guess the various suggestions that have come to the fore will certainly help us as individuals. It will also help all of us in our practice, how we'll be able to support the suggestions we offer to the various colleagues and friends that we support. So thank you, and thank you again. I want to thank all the audience, all those who log on, for making time and making it possible. And I'm confident whatever we have learned, we'll be able to support ourselves and the relevant others we care for. And let me use the opportunity to also remind ourselves and encourage us, if we have not already registered, It's a beautiful opportunity for us all to register. And so let's take the opportunity to register with the association. And once we do that, we'll be able to also continue to support the growth of the association. Thank you all, and may God be with you.
Thank you very much, Dr. You've always been with us through our programs, and we really do appreciate that. Mr. Emmanuel Adade, you have your hands up. Please unmute and let's hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jones Tagbo. And then thank to all your panelists. I'm very impressed about the presentation. But my question is still on the phone being away from the bedroom. So I would like to ask a question again. Let's say, for instance, I'm a health worker. Please, can I be here?
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm a health worker, and then I can be called at any time to attend to a patient or to attend to a client. If the phone is not in the bedroom and such calls are coming, how do we handle it later? And later you get to find out that, oh, because you are not able to pick the phone as at that time, this and this went wrong, or you miss an important appointment. How do we handle that issue?
Okay, Mr. Samuel, you want to address that?
Yes, so I think these are questions that normally comes up when these issues are actually raised. So that is why it's about setting boundary. And in setting boundary, you would have to take all these into consideration, the kind of work that you do as and when that you can be called and all that. You have to factor all this into it. And then you would decide what is best for you. The issue about having that free zone is for you to be able to have that time, because it is your time to sleep, for you to have that time. So yes, you know yourself as a health worker. The phone can be at a distance that you can't easily reach out to if it's not an emergency call that is coming, such that it will be your own initiatives to use the phone. That's basically what we are talking about. As a health worker, like we said, yes, the phone can be at a distance that if a call comes, you'll be able to hear, and probably you know that it is a call, an emergency call. You can set, I'm sure there are always that you can do to set those calls. You can set the kind of calls that you want to receive at particular periods of time, some numbers that you can assign to times that you can receive the calls and all that. I think all these are features that we have on our phone that we will have to explore. And these are ways that we can do. Just for you to have your time to sleep, because it is very, very important for your mental health at that moment. Yes, thanks, Zenuba.
I think to support that, or to add on that, I think that's what at the beginning Anita mentioned. Communication is very important in relationships. So you communicate your needs and your wants to your partner. So your partner knows the work you do and knows that you are somebody who responds to emergency calls, to be at work and all those things. So your partner knows. So when the call comes at that time, it doesn't create too much of discomfort, because your partner knows that you're a medical doctor, you're a psychologist, you are this, you are that. So you may need to. However, I think the point here is we should try to limit the usage of the phone in a way that it doesn't take away the precious time that partners are supposed to have for themselves. Where you are on social media, not on social media for productive purposes, but for chatting, for watching YouTube videos and what have you. I think that is a line we are talking about. We all appreciate that at times you receive calls from your work, especially if you're in the health sector, if you're in the emergency places, even every aspect of work, there could be that emergency call. So, but what we are talking about is the use of social media. I'm sure at the workplace, they will do a direct phone call and or give a text message and all those stuff. So effective communication is necessary. Let your partner know what you do. Let your partner know if even you be expecting any call like that. That will help to mitigate some of these issues of using phone at the bedroom that we are talking about. So effective communication, let your partner know what you do, and then I think it will help to resolve some of these issues. Okay, there's a question from Rosemary Tete. She said, how do we handle a person with this social media stalking as a personality trait, for instance, a narcissistic partner? How do we handle such a person? Louisa, only want to give your take on that?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Jones. So if we realize that the stalking behavior is as a result of your personality trait, then please seek professional help, because personality disorders cannot be treated on a very light note. So please seek professional help if the genesis of your stalking is as a result of a personality disorder. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with you perfectly on that. Uncle Sam, would you want to add up?
No, I think
Okay.
Anita has mentioned that professional help is what we need.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. At this moment, there are no hands up. There are no further questions in there. I just received one question. In the word there, Nadia, if you can come again. In social media and physical stalking is very, very important and helpful, particularly for premarital counseling. Very important and helpful. Okay, so I think she's trying to let us understand that this concept of stalking and social media and all these things, they are things that we should take next important interest in, because it can have effect on relationships. So when we are engaging in premarital counseling and everything, it should be a subject that we should talk about, because it's actually affecting relationships. Thank you very much, Nadia, for that input. Okay, so earlier we had our national PRO with us, but currently I can't see him on the chat at the moment. But we want to appreciate. Okay, Mr. Ayamba, we called you earlier. We didn't hear from you, so please you can make the very last submission.
Sorry. My name is Ayamba, and I'm reaching from Wa in the Upper West Region. I've been following the program since it started, and I think that I've enjoyed it, and I want to thank the organizers for putting it together. We should have similar programs frequently so that we can keep ourselves updated. But following the discussion, I think that with the issue of the social media and the relationship in general, I want to suggest that very important as we handle people relationships, very important we promote the issue of privacy, respect of privacy. You see, when you are my wife or you are my husband, it doesn't mean that I should be able to tell you everything of myself. In fact, in certain relationships, it is because of one or two secrets, so-called secrets, that the man holds or the woman holds that keep the relationship moving. So it is not everything, the entire personality of your partner that you think that you are the person is your partner, you must know. There are things that your partner will keep from you for the health of that particular relationship. So with two adults in a relationship, it's very important that we appreciate each other's privacy and how we can respect each other's boundaries, like the presenters have made. So I'm thinking that when we're able to do that, coupled with the promotion of independence and relationship. You are in a relationship, that doesn't mean that you can be over-reliant on your partner, for especially your psychological needs. So it's very important that as couples or people who are intended to be in a relationship for a longer period of time, they'll have in promoting the independence of their partners. Because the fact is that if you are over everything of your emotional needs is just from your partner. And remember, the partner is a human being. a little shakeup can cause problems. So I think that with this issue of social media and relationship in general, we are able to, as helpers, if we are able to promote the issue of respect, mutual respect of privacy, and also promote the issue of independence, so that people will not be slaves in relationship. When you're not slaves in relationship, the relationship, if it is going, you are fine. If it's not going, you have the independence to take decisions, and that gives you good health to go. I think that is my thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ayamba, for your submission. So let us respect our personal spaces and in relationships. Yeah, thank you very much for that. So on this note, I just want to remind us, or just as the Dr. ABC mentioned, if you are not yet registered with the Ghana Psychological Association, I shared my contact in the chat box. You can reach out to me. I'll assist you to register. If you are yet to also renew your membership, you can equally reach out to me and let us do that. So this is the student division in partnership with the para, lay, and associate division of the Ghana Psychological Association. We are hoping to bring you another session, hopefully in November. Yes, hopefully. We are putting things together. If we can bring you the next session of our discussion, and we hope when we call you, you come in your numbers as you did today. We are so much thankful for you, or your time, our panelists, everyone that came to make this program successful. We thank God Almighty for our lives, and we pray that He continue to be with us through the night and to our various places tomorrow. These and many blessings we ask through Christ our Savior. Amen and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.